Meanwhile, on the northern beaches of Sydney, lockdown locals are hoping to see the Premier lift some of the restrictions that have been imposed on them this week. Let's go to Manly right now. And I'm joined by the local state MP, James Griffin. James, thank you very much for your time.
Absolute pleasure, Chris.
I mentioned this crazy panic buying has returned, including toilet paper running off the shelves. Have you seen any sign of that on the peninsula? I guess the peninsula may have a reason to do a little bit of panic buying, but there's no excuse for the rest of Sydney.
Yeah, you're right there. Look, there is a reason to potentially do that, but thankfully, I think we've learned a few lessons from the past, and it hasn't been incredibly widespread. The mood here, really, I'm talking to you from the Manly CBD, is, I think, turning cautiously optimistic as the surge in testing rates over last night and yesterday delivered some pretty good outcomes for us here on the northern beaches.
It's hard to fathom that we would have the facility, and these are all portable units, to test 44,000 people in one 15 or 14-hour period. It's extraordinary. And I think the people of the northern beaches should be proud of what they've achieved.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I think the community have really rallied behind one another. They've risen up to the cause and have really, I think, taken it upon themselves to decide, well, look, we've got to do something right here for the rest of New South Wales. And if that means getting tested, then we'll absolutely go ahead and do that. So, people are generally doing the right thing, observing the electorate of Manly, which of course is the gateway to the northern beaches today. There's been a good uplift in the wearing of masks, people limiting their movements, just going out for the essentials. And despite, a reasonably good swell out there today in the surf, limited amount of people getting out there, so really taking this seriously.
Yeah. I want to ask you about what might happen tomorrow. Look, we could have 35 infections from other places in Sydney, or we could slowly go down to about 4 or 5, which would be just amazing. What are you hoping might happen for the Christmas period for people on the northern beaches?
Oh, look, my hope is that the rate of testing continues to be significantly high, which will give us confidence that, we've got a fairly good handle and idea of where this COVID is spreading or where it is. And look, if we saw numbers like today, I think that would be a good outcome. I'm not a health professional, but what I do know is that our community want to do the right thing. And we hope that as many people would be able to spend Christmas with one another as possible. So look, we're fingers crossed, trying our best, and really my heart goes out to the small business owners and operators that we've got here in Manly, who were looking forward to what would have been a bumper weekend and a couple of days leading up to Christmas. I think for many of them, this is going to be a real struggle, and my mind's turning to how we can help those businesses once we make our way through this.
Yeah, it's like a ghost town, that mall, that Corso, which is so alive for, 365 days of the year. This was their biggest week. It's been dashed. They've missed out on it. It's going to be tough to survive, especially when JobKeeper stops. What are they saying to you in the last couple of days?
Yeah, look, it is pretty dire. Tomorrow night, I'm hosting a town hall meeting online, of course, with the Chamber of Commerce, where we're going to talk to all the local businesses and get some feedback direct from them. To give you one example, there's a young gentleman here who's taken the risk upon himself to open 3 bars and restaurants in Manly over the past couple of years. They do a great job, welcome people from across New South Wales and around Australia. He saw $40,000 worth of bookings dry up in a matter of hours once this news broke. And the shame here is the speed at which this has all happened. And stock had been purchased, food had been prepared. They'd done their bit, looking forward to doing really well up to Christmas, and it's all been dashed. So we're going to have a chat tomorrow night as a community about what a few steps look like to soften the blow, and hopefully we'll continue to get some good outcomes from that testing. But look, things are pretty tough for our local businesses.
Yeah, we've got to not forget that it is terrible to be able to get a virus like this, but it's horrific to go through what that fellow is going through right now, because there's no government cheque coming in the post tomorrow to pay for all of that. James Griffin, thank you very much for your time tonight.
Pleasure. Thank you for your interest, and we will prevail.